This video is brought to you by GigShowcase.com.
This tutorial will show you how to import a form submission that comes from a GigShowcase.com website into an Excel spreadsheet. There's two parts to doing that, and here comes part one. Step one is to get your form submission that came to you in an email into text files. So here is a form submission. It comes with the name of the website, form name, and so on. And then you have your questions and answers. So here's street number is 530, street name Buckeye Drive. This section makes it easy for you to read, but it doesn't help you to get it into a spreadsheet. What is best is down in this area here. We have two sections for delimited values, and what that is tab delimited in this first section, and then we have pipe delimited or vertical bar. This character right there is a vertical bar. The first section of tab delimited only works if you have a software email client. It does not work in webmail, since webmail does not have such thing as a tab. So we're going to use the pipe delimited section, so that'll work with anybody's email program, whether it's a client or webmail. And you'll notice there's two sections here. In there is field names right there, and here are the field name values, and then the values, which is really the answers, and there's that row. So the first time when you set up your spreadsheet, you're going to need to get the field names to set up your columns. So I am going to highlight that. Alright, and I'm going to copy. And now we need to go into our, find the right one, here it is, into a folder. So make a folder for this, and then we're going to make two text files in here. So if you right click and say new, and one of the choices is text document, and this might be cut off slightly, but it's one of the choices there, and I'm going to call it field names. And let me move this, and this time you'll be able to see what I clicked on. So right click, new, text document, and let's call this form submission, and you can call it anything you want. Alright, let's open the field names one, and in here we're going to paste those values that we got from the email. Okay, and this has, if you see, it's all of the field names separated by that pipe character. So we'll save that and close that file for now, and let's go back to our email. And here in this bottom section we will grab the values this time. So it's just this row here of values, and make sure you don't get two rows, you only want one row. And now we can go back to our folder, open up the form submission, and paste in the values. Let's save that file and close that, and that's the end of step one. Step two is now to get these text files into an Excel spreadsheet. So first thing we need to do is create a spreadsheet to put it in, and you could either open Excel and go file new, or right click in a folder and say new Microsoft Excel workbook, and let's give that a name, form submissions. Okay, and let's open up that spreadsheet now. Okay, and the first thing you're going to notice is that I am not actually using Microsoft Excel. I'm using WPS Office, and that has a spreadsheet program in it. And WPS Office is a much less expensive version of Microsoft Office, and it does 99% of what Office does for a word processor, spreadsheets, and what they call presentation, which is like PowerPoint. Anyway, what we're going to do now is we put the cursor in the first box, and we're going to need to import the text files. Now, up on the top menu there is an option called Data, and in there on Excel, if this was actually Excel, there'd be a button right around here that says From Text. We are in WP Office, so instead of From Text, we have an option called Import Data. So I'm going to click on that, and in here you wouldn't get this page in Excel. It'll be a little different. Anyway, so I'm going to open the data. So I have to pick my file. So I'm going to do that, and then hit open. Okay, and again, you won't have this screen in Excel. This gives the option for different languages. So I'm going to go Windows Default, hit Next, and we are going to select Delimited because it's delimited by pipe characters, not by the size of the field. And we only have one row, so start import at row 1. Hit Next. Now this is really important. We want to uncheck Tab because it's not tab delimited. We want to check Other, and then in this box you're going to hold down over the Enter key. There is a backslash on your keyboard, and above that a vertical bar character. If you hold the Shift key down and click on that, you'll put your vertical bar in there. Text qualifier must be set to none, otherwise nobody could put quotes in a response. Alright, so again, tab off, Other, pipe character, and text qualifier none, and you'll see here that's a preview of how it would split it up. Hit Next, and in here you can change the formatting of each column, whether it's a number or whatever, but you could also do that in Excel after you import it, and that's basic formatting in Excel, so I won't go over that now. Click Finish, and let's move this over, and you'll see that it put each of those field names in a separate column. Okay. Now we want to get the data row. Now this row here, you only have to do the first time. Once you set it up, you won't have to do that again. You know, you can, let's just bold this. I'm going to bold that row, and you could even format it with a line under it and so on. So now you put the cursor in the second row. Now in Excel, when I have done this on Excel 10, it had a bug in it that after you put in that first row, if you have the cursor in the second row, that option for From Text was grayed out, and you had to put it in the third row. If that happens on yours, just delete the second row and then just put it in, and you might have to do that every time you put in a new form submission. Hopefully that bug is taken care of now. Anyway, so put the cursor back in here, and we're going to do the same thing again. Import data, select it, this time my form submission, and each time you get a form submission, this is what you will do. Okay, when you get to this, don't forget, uncheck Tab, Other, put in the pipe character, text qualifier none. Hit Next, and then Finish. And all the data now is in separate rows, like start month, start year. This just didn't have an answer to it, and so on. So now you just save that file, and you are ready to go. Hope you enjoyed the video.
GigShowcase.com, where customer service is our priority and tech support is always free.